My name is Andy. I look after the Malaysian territory for my company, and I'm in sales. So I have a team of five that reports under me. Each of them have got their own territory to run, own industry, market segment to look after, and I look after all of them. I believe in servant leadership. Basically, what that means is that if you want your staff to respect you as a leader, you have to be there to serve them, to understand the challenges that they're facing, and then to help them to overcome those challenges. There are some managers who will take the easy route where they will just take a step back, blame their staff for all the mistakes that they've done, scold them. The result is not going to be positive. Another way is you go to the ground with your staff, understand the challenges that they're going through, and then be at their side, come alongside them, work with them, help them to figure out, how to overcome and how to win together. The next time they face similar challenges, they know what to do. And I think the best satisfaction for any manager is when they see their staff repeating the same lesson that they have learned onto their colleagues, onto their team members, or if they become a manager one day.
Empathy, stewardship, commitment to growth, and building community are the key characteristics of servant leadership developed by Robert Greenleaf. Mr. Tan exemplified this characteristic in his leadership style. He believed respect should be earned, not enforced, and servant leadership foster respect and make team members feel valued and supported. Rather than leading from authority, Mr. Tan prioritized his team's needs, supporting them through challenges. He prefers to address issues collaboratively, approaching problems together as a team rather than pushing employees harder or assigning blame. By being present and showing empathy, he builds trust and improves team morale and performance. For example, when his team encounter a problem, his first instinct is to understand their need and provide guidance. Furthermore, Mr. Tan empowers his team by giving them space to grow and take ownership, building trust and encourage development. This servant-first mindset helped him build leaders within his team, setting him apart as a manager.
Sometimes there are multiple options that you can take, in which case then you have to weigh um, the pros and cons for all the options that's available, and then pick the best one. But sometimes it's easier said than done. Even after you weigh all the options that you have, um, the final decision may not be that clear. In which case, then you just have to make a calculated risk, which would be the best option to work with, and all pray that is the correct one.
Rational decision making is a logical process used to select the best possible solution by analyzing multiple alternatives and assigning weight to the criteria. According to decision making theories, Mr. Tan applies the rational decision making model in his approach. During the interview, Mr. Tan explained that when he faced with multiple solutions, he would list out the pros and cons of each option. He then compared them and chooses the most effective one. This clearly reflects the core of rational model, which is about thoughtful and fair evaluation and making informed decision based on logic and reasoning.
Toughest decision any managers have to make is always one that involves people. You may have a staff that is not performing or not behaving in a certain manner, and you have to sit down with that person um, to advise that person, to coach that person. Um, Sometimes you may have to let a person go as well. So those kind of conversations are usually the toughest. And when there's a decision to terminate somebody, that's usually the toughest. Um, Especially when you know that person well and you know the family behind that person, the wife, the kids. Um, but having those conversations usually the toughest for any manager.
One of the toughest decisions Mr. Tan has faced as a manager involved handling a team member who was underperformed and misbehavior in. The individual was not meeting expectation, which began to affect the team overall morale and performance. What made the situation especially difficult was the personal connection Mr. Tan had with his team member. As someone who values empathy and relationships in leadership, having a direct and honest conversation with someone he worked closely with was challenging. He shared that the hardest part was also deciding whether or not to let the person go. Every decision is crucial. He was aware that letting someone go could impact the person in many aspects, such as livelihood. On the other hand, if emotions took over, it could negatively impact the team overall performance. Mr. Tan had to weigh both the people's side and the performance impact, making it one of the most difficult leadership moments in his career. One significant lesson I learned from this interview is that using effective leadership can lead to a good manager. Effective leadership balances team performance with individuals' growth and well-being. The role of a manager is to lead team members, not control them. Personally, I believe that coaching and guiding are powerful tools. When managers support and guide their team members, it is not only motivating them but also build their confidence. Coaching allows individuals to recognize their own potential and growth in a positive direction. I've also learned that understanding is a key characteristic of a good manager. A manager should be able to put themselves in their team members' shoes in order to support them while earning their respect in the workplace. Moreover, a manager needs to make decisions that give minimal risk and damage to the company and the teams. In this situation, rational decision making is significant. It allows a manager to choose the best option among all, and I think it can be used in many situations, which is very useful. In conclusion, leadership that used effectively and thoughtfully is essential for every manager, as it can have a great impact on individual development, and individual growth drives collective success. And that is all for my presentation. Thank you so much.